Alex, thanks for joining us. Why don't you just start by telling us about your company and how it's going right now?
Sure. Company is 360PI, and as you know, I'm the CEO of the company. It started in 2008. I joined in 2010, and we pivoted the company already once from its original sort of B2C orientation to B2B software as a service. What we do is we provide retail price and product information to both large and medium-sized retailers as well as major brands.
How has it been? I mean, obviously, Shopify is identified as a homegrown Ottawa story. I think you guys do as well. How have you find it? Has it become easier or more difficult to grow a high growth business in Ottawa?
I think it's become easier. I mean, I'm not an Ottawa native. I came here in 2008. I lived in Toronto for a number of years before that. And one thing I always found about Ottawa is it's incredibly easy to build a network in Ottawa. So I came here as someone that had built a network in Toronto, had raised money, for companies in Toronto, and was pretty plugged into the tech sector there, and especially the startup sector. And I still have a number of contacts there. But here when I got to Ottawa and I decided I was going to start up another business, I just started calling people up and saying, hey, would you like to meet for coffee? And I find that that's a unique element of Ottawa's culture. And I still tell that to people when they're from Toronto or other people who are looking to come to Ottawa, is just how easy it is to get plugged in. So I find that it's actually gotten easier and easier as I've become more and more plugged into the community and more able to draw upon others who are here and the support that exists. I also think Invest Ottawa has been doing a great job of publicizing and promoting the tech sector. And I have to obviously give kudos to Shopify for paving the way for a lot of the other tech companies here in Ottawa. I think that it's drawn a lot of attention to Ottawa. And, it's promoted Ottawa as a tech hub, I think, for a lot more people.
So tell me more about what you do for your clients, maybe from the perspective of a typical client. What do they get from you? What value do you provide to them?
Sure. So there's two major customer types. There's retailers and there's brands. And so for retailers, what we're doing is we're drawing sort of big data, price and product information from retailer websites generally. And for our retailer customers, we're giving them what would be called competitive price information. So we're showing at price and product. So we're showing them, for example, what their assortment is like versus their competitors. So what products they're carrying versus what products their competitors carrying, what might be hot, what might they want to start look at carrying, what might they want to look at dropping. Also pricing. And so showing them where their pricing isn't in line with where they want it to be, helping them to right price so that they're either increasing their sales or increasing their margins. If you take that same set of information, we actually provide it to brands as well, but from a different perspective. What brands are really looking for is, if you like, rather than competitive price monitoring, they're looking for channel price monitoring. They want to understand, where their product is showing up. Are they authorized retailers or unauthorized retailers? And for those that are authorized, are they complying with the pricing policy of the brand that might be providing, let's say, co-op advertising dollars to them?
So, I mean, what you're delivering is really this great data that allows them to make better decisions. And technology allows kind of the free flow of data in real time, hyper real time. That wasn't possible 10, 20, 30 years ago. And if it was only the largest retailers that were able to afford it. What would these retailers have done decades ago if they didn't have you guys?
Yeah, it's a great question, and actually, it's sort of like a slide that I can, that we've had in the beginning of our presentation for a while, which is the time to lose a customer has gone down to pretty much nothing now. And, we often think about it in terms of time to gain a customer, but really it's like losing a customer. So in the past, if you wanted to get this kind of price intelligence, you would send these mystery shoppers into stores and, they would look through the different products, and you can imagine how much time that would take and how costly that would be. And, how expensive, I already talked about how costly it would be, but like how inaccurate that data would be because they'd be writing it down manually.
And it's delayed anyways, right? Because it's not happening in real time.
It would take you weeks to get that information. I mean, like to be able to act on that, you're talking about Stone Ages, right? And now, I mean, what I tell retailers that are still thinking in the mindset of, doing the in-store price checks, I say, well, exponentially better quality, exponentially more frequently, less costly, more effective. It's the speed of business, right?
Great to hear what you're up to. Thank you so much for joining us,
You're
Alex.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Cheers.